welcome to the Sly&Wesh podcast. My name is Sly.
My name is Wesh, and this is a podcast that promotes introspection. As you know, we like to encourage people to really think about what goes on internally so that they can be able to fix what is happening externally. That means with your platonic relationships, your romantic relationships with society, with your parents, like overall.
Yeah. Basically everything that is outside of you.
Yeah.
You're able to maneuver it when you're really centered in
yourself.
Yeah.
So we're back once again.
Yeah, and from last episode, actually, I feel like last episode was amazing.
Yeah,
like,
it was fire.
Yeah, comment if you've watched the last episode.
And you haven't, please
go back there first.
Yeah, we were really just talking about what's been on our minds and basically taking stock of what has been happening with us internally, or what has led to what is happening internally.
Right.
And it opened up a lot of doors, which led to now today. What we want to talk about today is how to manage your emotions. How do you manage your emotions? What does that look like? And is that because of like home? Is it like, why is it that way?
Yeah.
So yes.
Or if you don't, I feel
or maybe if you don't.
Majority, I feel they struggle. If me included.
Yeah. Actually, I was reading earlier. There's 3, depending on, like, unless you grew up like you in a healthy household where you have healthy, like the parents were parenting. There's children tend to deal with emotions. They either like analyze or they avoid or they manage, because all your reactions are based on managing your parents' emotions and insecurities. So like you see, where there's a golden child mwenye hataki hata kufanya makosa, or there's the child who's like akimam pole, the concerned child, or like now the overachieve, or the quiet one mwenye, and then the problem child mwenye, so the scapegoat for all the negative emotions. It's like sasa wewe ona, it's because you failed exams, or it's because you
mostly middle kids
so like now you see like those 3 dynamics tend to play out a lot in many homes, because the parents have their own issues that they are not dealing with, so the children end up dealing with them.
Absolutely. And also when it comes to managing now in the same breath, clearly it's something you start from kitambo. And I find that I feel like we grow up and then it's almost like you're ambushed with the need to manage emotions, and then you realize, how have I been living? Like nimekuwa nikishiaje? You're 30, unaambiwa kitu na mdosi unaenda kulia kwa choo, and you're a grown up.
Like it was okay, and then it's like you're a grown up. Why are you crying? Like there was no transition, there was no time. Okay, this is what you're feeling is anger. It's okay to feel anger. What you're feeling is envy. It's okay to feel envy. Like it's even the way emotions are marketed. It's like you're only allowed to share the I'm happy. I'm excited, but not too. I'm excited, but not too excited. I'm like, but not too much. Everything is like
mellowed down.
Please tone yourself down. And in reality, like, we are feeling beings. If you're angry, you're angry. If you're sad, you're sad. You're crying, so you can't start crying here because everyone will get uncomfortable. Because easily. Because why are you getting uncomfortable?
Exactly.
Because I'm crying.
Exactly. Okay, but you see, like, come on. Background, there's a statement nilisikia, trauma keeps you at that age. You experienced it. Like, so now kama me, I feel like a lot of the things I deal with nowadays ni vitu nili teenage trauma. I think sijawai kanifikiria mambo ya teenage trauma until recently. I've always gone the childhood direction.
Na pia hapo kuna
hapo kwa teen, hiyo anger na rebellion, the way I was so rebellious and I was angry and emotional and whatever, sikuwahi fikiria ni anything deeper. I just thought these teachers are horrible. This school is terrible. My parents hate me.
Everybody hates me.
And then you grow up and then you realize, wait, there's a lot that was going on. The system was fucked up for real, like the education system for real. Your family, there was a lot going on in my family personally. There was a lot going on in my academics. Actually, hizo vitu zote zilikuwa zina affect performance.
Plus now just adolescence. Like your hormones now are showing up and showing out. We are here.
Actually, I believe, babe, unajua nimefanya juzi course ya nini? Training, like peer counseling training for work. And something that stood out to me is how basic psychology is so important na hatuna. I feel like it should be in the curriculum.
Yeah.
Like by the time tuko high school, Form 1, bio, Form 1, ikue something psychology.
It should be there. Because it's also happening in your mind. It's not only happening in your body.
Yeah. So now unapata hizo stages za development. Kama sasa the way there's this whole perception of high schoolers ama teenagers on how they're rebellious ama hawasikiangi ama generations juu inakuanga, growing up you're told that hamsikizangi.
And it's all the generations. So nani anasikizanga?
Literally.
How about then it's a state of being of that period. Rather than it's our...
It's literally what goes on. Actually, the best example ni kama yenye nakupeanga ile mtoi wa 2 years, terrible twos. So now, study your basic psychology, you realize at 2 years, hiyo time your brain ya mtoi ana experience the most like growth spurt and stimuli zote. So kutembea, kuongea, anasikia vitu mob, anacheza, anapatana na watu, anaona, like it's just a lot.
Yeah.
So the tantrums are terrible twos hukuwa
basically
the brain the brain is overworking like and it's overstimulated, so they really act out because of that. Then unapata because people don't know, anachapa mtoi all day every day wa 2 years ati they are naughty ama whatever
because I don't know how to deal with my growing brain.
Literally. So even teenagehood kuna kitu inakuanga inaendelea, chemical imbalance ya hormones na nini they affect how kids actually behave. So when there's that and then you have your own issues, masomo zinakusumbua na self esteem issues na kujicompare, you don't know who you are, identity,
you have a crush. In between there you have a crush.
You have a crush na ukijulikana utapigwa shule. First of all. And like, so wild. It's so crazy. So by the time unafika 20, 21, 22, 23, you're in campus, you're drinking yourself to death.
You don't know your body, you don't know yourself. Yeah. You don't know how to relate in a healthy way with people of the opposite sex. Like, it's a mess.
Yeah.
No wonder people are just usually fumbling and doing crazy weird shit.
Absolutely.
Before now you settle down and you find like your groove and you're like, oh, this is what I like.
Yeah.
Because imagine if we had all these tools earlier on.
Bro,
kids would be way better equipped, and even just awareness. Because just being aware of something is such a huge
awareness.
Because not like you're telling them go have sex now, and give any permission.
Absolutely.
It's just like this is what is happening, and it's so like the way there is a lot of like teen pregnancies.
Yeah,
and we like in this country, we like to bury our heads in the sand so much, and pretend that it's them who are having sex with each other.
Girl,
please. You won't tell me that high percentage. Let me not even get into it.
I feel
but like, can we think a little? Yeah. Just a little.
I think people really minimize things. People don't think things are connected. Things are.
Yeah.
Me kwanza, nikiona hizo highlights kwa news, hizo za teen pregnancies, whatever, me just start thinking, my God, na place kama Kayole sahi, na place kama a village in Marsabit or something. Like, can you imagine the number of babies right now going through that shit? Of which I saw a lady again to me digress, but I
still part of the same
conversation equation. But there's a babe who was complaining that we are always saying that teenage babes are being abused or like whatever, coerced into that, but that babe feels like majority of the kids are actually having sex with each other. And I feel like that's true to some extent. 60% in my opinion it's just these things are happening under their parents' noses, and they just don't see it because they don't think it is their problem, because I don't know.
So if we look at the stats, because I'm sure they didn't just take stats of pregnancies and then they left. They must have like is it they just did, because
I feel like they wouldn't be able to, because teenage girls already unaogopa utaambia nani. I don't know, they don't out.
Anyway, either way, let me say, regardless of how it came about and not kupuuza, I just think if there was more education regarding just, let's say, even just basic basic sex ed, basic education about like what's happening within your body and how, like, just teaching how to regulate emotionally, it would allow so many girls to be able to make decisions properly, to not be coerced or lied to by some kibaba.
Absolutely.
Because, or even between amongst themselves, to make responsible choices because they have information. give people information. I don't understand what the issue is. Because even us, if we had that information, we would have made so many different choices, right? And even now, for us to be able to sit here and have this conversation, it's because we have information. Because you've looked for that information and you found it. So you can understand if, like, you are a concerned child, like, because a child should be carefree. So why is this child concerned about everybody? There is something that's going on. Why is this child so like, oh my god, guy, watching fight? As soon as ameanza fight, ana shake. Because conflict in cripple. That's something from the home. Bro, that thing is not happening. Now imagine that kid may grow up, they're having a fight. Tell me please, how is that kid fighting with anybody? How are you even putting boundaries on anything? Ati mtu amekasirisha. Do you even know what that looks like?
Yeah, you don't.
What is that feeling?
Yeah.
Because you've probably even taught yourself not to even recognize anger.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
Or like to gaslight yourself.
Yeah, you're just like, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Think how many babes would do that.
How?
They tell you, oh my god, they tell you the most heinous thing someone has done to them. But at least,
hako huko. I think ni mimi tu na overthink.
Sayo describe like a textbook case of maybe like abuse.
Abuse, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
And you wonder, like, that thing doesn't just happen in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Like, that came from somewhere.
Yeah.
If this person was like knowing like this is not normal, it is okay to feel anger, it is okay to feel sadness, hurt, all the feelings, even jealousy, like they're so demonized. Negative feelings are so demonized. It's like okay, we endo kafilie na huko ukimaliza come tucheke. But now, because imagine something like envy is a very common adult feeling.
Yeah.
But how many people can even admit?
Not adult human feeling. Because it's inaanzanga like with kids. Like unaona like kama Ayana her birthday, my baby, and then unapata one child is like they want those gifts. Why don't I have them? Like why does Ayana have this? It's something, it's natural, like as a human being to covet or to want something that you don't have. So but by the time mimi kama mimi hiyo story ya jealousy na envy nimejua juzi that it's not that nimejua but I've found peace or comfort in knowing that it's actually a normal feeling.
It's normal.
I feel like since all my life, like growing up, nimeishi kujua people who are jealous are just bad people.
We have always been told that.
Evil people.
Like, I'm just like, evil.
No.
So you bury, like, ukisikia
ka feeling.
Bury.
Suppress. Yeah. And I feel like feeling jealousy is healthy. Not feeling jealousy, but allowing and investigating the feeling. It's really been helping me. So like when it comes to now emotions regulations, I think that is what we are talking about on this episode. You need to know first your emotions that are very prominent first. And one way to do that is just to be introspective and to self what? Investigate.
Actually, it's an investigation.
Yeah, investigate your feelings and whatever. So, as like, if you're into that kind of stuff, I mean, if you're not, and even if you're not,
you should be, please.
Yeah, I feel like every human being who is interested in making their life richer needs to tap into themselves first before anything. Like once again, all the time. Have you subscribed to hear this?
Have you liked? Have you commented? Please.
Yeah, before we continue, because I feel like you may go so deep, but I really need you not to leave this episode before you subscribe, because we'll be talking a lot about that. To learning how to navigate your emotions and all that. So
stick around.
Yeah.
So now, as we were saying, like the negative ways, or not the negative ways, but like the way most of us handle conflict is I mean emotions, not conflict. Same as up.
Yeah.
Is either you overanalyze it to death and you don't actually feel it, you avoid it, or you're just like, guys, let's not fight, let's not.
Yeah.
But those emotions are there and they're important to feel.
Yeah.
So how do you think you handle, let's say something like anger? How do you think you handle it?
Anger. So in the recent past, I've actually realized I have a lot of anger in me. When you like from the previous episode, I was saying I've always been like bubbly, happy, feeling like I need to keep the peace, keep people like excited or entertained, or like I feel accommodated or whatever. That's always been me. And in the recent past, sijui kama ni an accumulation of all the things I've been through in my life, ama just the fatigue of adulthood, ama whatever. I just feel like I have a lot of anger inside my body that sinanga place ya kupeleka. So maybe the way I think the negative way that comes out is avoidance. So I keep quiet. Ni kama nilikuwa naambia Shad how I see myself becoming the person I didn't like in the home. I have seen myself a few times. Nimetoka job and because now I'm at home, it's my safe space. I'm upset. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm in the bedroom. I don't want to talk. I'm talking English. I'm snappy. Upset about something. I can't pinpoint
what it is.
So napata that is actually a major challenge for me currently. When I get angry nowadays, I don't know what to expect.
How to express anger.
How to express. So now since suppress hivyo home, nimenyamaza siongei nini. So how it will come out, sasa siwezi jua what to expect. Tuseme mtu anikasirishe, maybe I'll shout.
It will be an outburst.
Yeah, it will be an
outburst. Something that has been boiling. I'm thinking of like a kettle.
Yes, exactly. So my experiences of it of late sana napata either I'll yell, of which with my child imeanza ku reduce because now she's vocal.
She'll be like, Mom.
Come
on, me correct.
And my mom, baby, because tells me, Mom, that was rude.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I love that for her. And
Thank God you had laid the foundation of
speaking up.
And being able to...
And identifying things that
and I'll say sorry.
Okay. Yeah, and I say sorry. That's how I navigate the motherhood one. Yeah. I'll tell her, actually, I will sit her down and tell her, Mom, you see how sometimes you get upset and you cry and even Mom sometimes gets upset and is unable to blah, blah, blah.
That's lovely.
But that is her because she's mine and I don't want to torment her. Like, you know.
Always say, Matthew, memkato.
Like, but when it comes to a relationship, my parents, my brothers, my friends, I'm doing badly. Actually, I'm doing badly. I'm down horrendous. So I need to. Unapata nikienda sasa kukunywa, it's like everything just bursts out, and that's very new for me.
That is so interesting that you can be like, I've never felt this emotion, and then all of a sudden, kumbe, it's just been brewing. And now that's all you're feeling.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Goes to show though.
Imagine, like trauma is crazy. Hata umesema hivyo nikarealize, but that's actually exactly it. It's like now sitting in the actual feelings that I always felt all my life.
Yeah. Damn. But even that's but even just that, like accepting fast, I'm angry, I'm very, very angry.
Yeah.
Knowing what word to assign the feeling, because sometimes like na feel you're in me.
I feel
too. Sometimes maybe you're upset, you're uncomfortable. Like there's a word for it.
Yeah, but you can't.
But you can't even pinpoint. Now, if you don't know what you're feeling, how are you going to accept? Because like anger is a normal emotion. It's not a bad emotion.
Yeah.
An angry person is not a bad person. You're just angry.
Yeah.
It's what you do with it.
Yeah.
Because now, like you've said, you'll try and like sit with it. Or it'll burst. If you don't sit with it, then that means it'll burst in the worst way possible.
Right.
Another person will just make like a horrible decision in the moment and like burn bridges.
Sabotage everything.
And sabotage things you can never, ever, ever come back from. Because there's things you can do to people.
And you can't come back from them. Facts, yeah.
You can't come back. So it's very important to recognize and accept what it is that you're feeling.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
There's no bad feeling. I'm feeling this way, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have an outlet, actually, I was reading about anger, you can either journal or you record yourself talking. Like vent. You see now that shouting?
Yeah.
Shout into your phone, record yourself.
I could do that.
Do that.
I do that without the phone. I can do that with the phone.
Or you just yell at the air. Sometimes maybe you want to yell and then you listen back to scare like what will come out.
Yes.
Because sometimes you're not even aware until you start letting it out and then you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that thing has been bugging me.
Right. Actually, now that you've mentioned journaling, how do I navigate anger? Actually, I navigate anger like that nowadays. Or I try to. Yeah, I've been journaling quite a bit this year. So, and the reason is because I listened to Mel Robbins. Was it Mel Robbins giving an actual mi nilikuwa nashindangwa, okay, I know journaling is helpful and whatever in theory. What is the benefit for someone who is struggling even with it? So she was like, Fanya, we just journal to go back and see how you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Your tone.
That's nice.
Yeah. And
that's
listen,
very nice.
that shit works. Because nitaangalia journal yangu ya last week niangalia nilikuwa nasema I feel like hell. I'm so ugly, I feel so ugly. I'm like, babe.
Excuse me.
I'm so sorry that's how you talk to yourself.
That is so dope.
Yeah.
That's such a nice way of
literally, yeah. So nowadays I do it like that.
And you know what that is? It's challenging.
Yeah.
Like if you say, okay, you're saying I feel ugly. Is it true though? Is there evidence that you are ugly?
None whatsoever.
Then if there is not, are we not a scientific people?
Yeah. You know?
Kama hakuna evidence, like
you
it's
just
like follow
feeling.
Yeah, because when you take a moment, if you don't act immediately, you feel the thing. Just if you take 1 second to think, you'll be there, why am I angry?
Yeah.
Is it worth being angry over even?
Yeah.
If it's not, then you decide, just let it go.
Or is it being pushed by something else?
Or is it exactly?
Yeah. Maybe it's that Nini you needed. You've been angry, but this
Yeah, you've been nimekufanya hivyo.
Ushaikuwa umekuwa na the worst morning and then mtu akukanyage tawa. Unaweza muangusha huko kwa barabara. I'm telling you.
Analipia sisi za wale watu wote wamekubo.
So yeah, journaling has helped me with that. Because most time you're angry with yourself.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
That's true.
Like that I'm angry. I'm angry that I'm like this.
And I can't change it right now. And,
right. Yeah.
That is so valid.
Yeah.
I realize I usually journal. I journal with there's called journal. I was Journey. It's called Journey.
Okay.
An online journal. And I noticed I journal either when I'm angry or when I'm feeling like very happy, and I feel like, when you're happy and you feel like bursting.
Yeah.
I really try to document.
Yeah.
So that next time when I'm feeling like shit, I can just go there and be like, Abu, there's so many things to be grateful for. Like, remember all these good things that were happening.
Absolutely.
Have they gone away?
Yeah.
No. They're still there.
Yeah.
So why are we in the pits?
Yeah.
Like, why, especially when you get into that nini of wallowing, of self-pity, and sometimes it's very hard to like kick yourself out of it. So now when it's like in and out wallowing.
Yeah.
Like I did a solid wallowing time ya COVID. I did a solid wallowing for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, sawa nimemaliza.
I may wallow even for a year.
And then now, but imemaliza. It's just now the pits part is over. But there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
So to go up IV, it's like we are fine sometimes, we are not fine sometimes. It's very easy to lose sight of what is happening. And then I found myself trying to look for something that's wrong because I'm just in a funk.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
even this thing.
I start even seeing a tone. Why are you texting me like that? Why are you mbona hujatoa ikikombe na mimi shida hapa nikitoa vikombe? Like, I usually just imagine when I'm out of it, I just start laughing.
Yeah.
On the other end, I'm imagining being the other person. It's like, what you say about me?
What you say about me for?
So I mean, I was just chilling.
Yeah.
It's not even that deep.
Yeah.
Then you realize if you're overreactive, or there's definitely something more that's happening. But like, how will you know if you don't take stock?
Yeah, you'll never know. It's like people who just they have a temper and they don't know.
How can you not know?
They're angry and they don't know. As in,
it's a constant state of being. It has become so normal.
Yeah.
You're just like,
that's a constant state.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you actively manage like anger? When you're angry? Like, say now you're angry.
If I'm angry, if I'm angry, I just try to remove myself completely from the situation, from the person.
Okay.
Because I know the longer I sit in it, the longer like it's playing in a loop in my mind, whatever is angering me, and I will end up saying something hurtful, and I don't want that. So usually if it's like I'm angry at my partner, I just go and sleep.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, I put something completely ridiculous. Maybe I start watching TikTok.
Okay.
Or I start reading a book, something that will remove my mind from that.
So basically removing yourself, distracting. Is it distracting yourself?
Sometimes it's distracting, sometimes it's removing myself. If it's an active situation, sometimes it's removing myself from it, kabisa. Especially if it's a relationship I care about, it's removing myself or distracting myself.
Yeah.
Then afterwards, when I might go even sit down and think about like what am I really, really angry about.
Yeah.
And then I'll even formulate a list in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm angry, this made me feel this way, this made me feel this way. Sometimes I might even write it down or I record. And then now tomorrow when I'm feeling more in control, I can come back and I have now my lists. And I have my, and then especially kwanza in relationships, you know, you tell someone, we unakuanga hivi, but you don't. And so you do have receipts. And I'm not saying like fighting with receipts, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've been feeling this way, but sometimes people need an example of
what they did wrong, or what they usually do that's wrongs.
Like what is
crosses
it?
you.
Yeah. So now in that moment when it's all fresh in my mind, I like to put it, record it. Nikamna points zangu kesho nikushow.
I envy that about you. That's awesome. Seriously. That's amazing.
Yeah. I was a very, very angry teenager. So I was angry for like 5 years straight. So it was like when I got to a point where I started thinking like, am I going to be angry forever? Like this has become now my identity. Like who am I without this anger?
Oh wow.
So then I was like, apana, I need to do something. Like I want to be able to sit somewhere and laugh with people.
Right.
And like not be broody or like
I just see that face of a teen. Like teenagers are upset.
No.
Chronically. Throat.
Umevaa black, umevaa Marvin hadi hapa je vile I hate the world. You should have seen my writing that time. Oh my god, it was so angsty and emo.
Really? That's interesting.
But then I was like, mi sitaki kuwa nimejam 24/7. I have to figure out whoever I'm angry with. Like I was angry with my dad for so many years. Like I have to forgive.
Yeah.
And I'm not forgiving for them, I'm forgiving for myself so that I don't stay with this thing.
Yeah.
And actually I had a lot of, my mom is a psychologist. We had a lot of chats and I remember she's the one who really made me think that way.
Yeah.
And she was like, Mom, I'm so
angry.
Why aren't you angry?
You, when did you notice the anger?
I was just consistently angry and like me, I want to fight everybody.
Yeah.
It's like nini baya
mom. Yeah.
Like wewe kwa nini hujajam? Unafaa kuwa umejam kama ama hata kunishinda. Niambia alafu let's follow that train of thought.
Yeah.
I'm mad and then and then what will I do? And then after I've done that, will I feel better?
Yeah.
Like what kind of life do you want to live? And you know what? Say less.
Yeah. Ooh. Because you see, most people don't even see. Ni kama tu mimi vile nasema mimi sahi ndio I'm sitting in my anger. Although hiyo yako ya teen sahi ndio na feel mimi sahi. So you can imagine like there's many people who have never ever sat with their anger or their pain or anything. And so of course navigating that is like what are you even telling them?
Or even recognizing it. Like it's anger. It's not like just like
it's not laziness.
Temejama kamka akamsha Ati yuko tu hivyo. See, that's not normal.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, anger. I had not even after tukiongea mambo emotions I had not thought about the anger.
I really wanted to touch on anger because it's such a key emotion and it's very anger, sadness and hurt are always lumped together and one is confused for each other. Because sometimes someone may say you're angry, why are you so angry? And you're just sad. Or you're hurt. Actually hurt often people often bring it up as anger when it's being hurt.
Absolutely. Yeah. Although being hurt a lot it makes you angry.
They're like nile unaanza kulia ukijam.
Of which that's me always.
Same. If I'm super angry, I'm definitely crying.
Yeah, me too, for sure. And then you know that one it comes from how we've grown up. Like you could not voice your pain or your anger.
Or
mimi kwanza nakumbuka nikuza kwani umekasirika? Unakasirikia nani? No. It's okay.
And then it comes out like either you cry, maybe you start getting headaches because this stuff manifests even as physical symptoms.
Absolutely.
Or your stomach starts aching when you're stressed. Bro,
sikia kuendesha
anxiety.
Mimi kwanza juzi nilikuwa na anxiety. Actually the next one is anxiety. I think managing anxiety. It's not a feeling, but let's talk about anxiety a bit. So I get anxiety often. Actually, nimerealize often like naeza amka leo, my heart is boom,
constantly
boom,
in a state of anxiety.
Niko tuna. And then I tried to explain that feeling, and then it hit me when I started getting anxious. I was a child, oh my god. But that feeling of ni kama unaitwa the example ni kama Sylvia, Angela staff room. Unaitwa staff.
That anxiety.
Ama umeambiwa uende uone Prince after class. That feeling,
panic for like 2 hours.
Yeah, that is how anxiety feels.
Yeah,
it's hell.
It's horrid.
It's hell. And then now I started thinking, when was the first time I felt this? I was, I think, 6 years old.
He's 6 years old. A 6-year-old is anxiety. That's sad.
That's insane. That I've lived like that all these years. I'm just like, ew, I need a break. Honestly.
To exchange.
Hey. But now how to manage that, but I've not figured out. I don't know. I have no tools for it.
I feel like it's an ongoing journey.
Yeah.
Because that even we cannot even talk about all the emotions right now. Because it's a heavy topic and there's a lot to be
unpacked.
To be unpacked. Because even me, I'm not usually sure sometimes what to do with anxiety. But I think we shall just keep learning, because that's what ideally we're endeavoring to do, to learn together.
Yeah.
And to find tools, because and then like not all of us will be able to afford therapy or can even know what to look for when you're researching. So we are hoping we can be a good resource for ourselves too.
Yeah. And absolutely. It's a good thing you've touched on that, because even I was thinking, when I was thinking about like our content and stuff, do you know there's so many people who realize there's something off, but they really can't get into therapy for various
myriad of reasons.
Even a reason like therapy cannot possibly help with this thing. You feel like it's so unique that even that therapy cannot help. So I feel like podcasts like this one specifically, because I'm not seeing any other, it's a way to navigate before you can get that actual...
it's bridging the gap.
Bridging the gap between you actually coping day to day and you being able to get all the help, dawa, therapy, all the support and friends and whatever. So if you don't have all that, the best tools are... not the best, some tools are online, like this one, which now you listen to feel like you're not alone. Right? You've struggled with anxiety and anger and whatever. You don't know where to take them. You don't have to go to therapy. Start.
And even there you've described anxiety. There's probably people who don't know that feeling is anxiety.
There's probably people even who feel it and they don't relate it to that
at all.
They feel it but they don't think they have anxiety.
It's like it's a modern word. But it's a modern word to a
very old
existing
feeling.
problem. So I mean, all I'd say is like the farthest I've gone is acknowledging your feelings and accepting your feelings, and then from there we'll find the tools to cope with that as we go along. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Oh my god, next time I think we should touch on good feelings also.
Yes,
because you see at the end of the day, even before we finish, happiness sometimes Mimi
too much joy.
Sometimes come at the relationship thing I was telling you, the way you get carried away, you're happy in this relationship.
For sure
it's a bubble of happiness. You forget everything. You forget that your account is empty. You forget that
uko job
Monday and you're skiving, you want to spend the whole day with her. That used to do you remember? I don't know if that happened to you in Campo.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Una skive data wiki mzima ndio ukae na Charlie. Mimi nakushoni. Literally. And to me right now is something I can never do, but you can do. I have the capacity.
You have it is in you.
I'm able to be like, ask him job here. I want to, get cuddles. But so it's important to find a middle ground between the feeling you're feeling and how is it affecting your day to day. So I think that's like a food for thought before we get into it deeply in the next upcoming episodes. So until next time,
bye.